Om Shanti. So, welcome all of you to the Values for Life series. And as always, before we begin, we'll spend a minute in silence and invoke the presence of the Supreme Being. So, welcome all of you once again. And today's episode 104, it's all about innocence. Such a beautiful value, a very unusual value to cover. Many people say that you shouldn't be innocent because you'll be taken for a ride. But here we are discussing this value, and it's our pleasure to have Sudha Didi with us, who's a senior sister from Moscow. Welcome. Thank you, Sudha Didi. I'll just unmute, yeah. If you can just unmute her, yeah. And as always, before we begin, I'll just introduce Sudha Didi has been with us for many of the episodes in the past. So she's currently the General Director of the Inter-Regional Social Organization for the Promotion of Unity of Civilizations, Cultures, and Religions. And in short, we call the Center of Spiritual Development in Moscow. And to begin with her career in Moscow, she arrived in 1989 as a part of the delegation of the Raj Yoga teachers of the Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual University. And going back, there's no looking back after that. She basically has graduated from the University of Delhi, post-graduated in natural science, and graduated in pedagogy. And along with her secular education from the very young age of 15 years, she continued her spiritual studies at Delhi, India. And then in 1976, she dedicated her life for this noble cause for serving humanity. Sudha Didi has written a book in Russian called Unending Treasures, a Collection of Virtues. So there you are, speaking about virtues. That has become a bestseller in Russia. She's also a co-author of the popular manual for teachers and psychologists called Moral Values. And her name is included in the Encyclopedia of the World of Women, which is dedicated to the famous female leaders in Russia. So a lot of achievements, spiritual achievements. And as always, before we go on to Sister Claudia to welcome her officially, I will recite the poem on today's value, that is innocence and her. So in today's world, where there is indeed so much of ambivalence, jealousy, hatred, and anger prevail with a total sense of indifference. Having Sudha Didi is indeed a matter of divine spiritual coincidence, who through her attitude and behavior radiates this childlike innocence, sharing her wisdom and insights with a lot of spiritual parlance. Her each and every word makes indeed perfect sense, as she reminds us to be situated in our true essence and develop the power of decision-making and cognizance. The time cycle of the world is moving through a spiritual renaissance where soul consciousness prevails with no hindrance. We are entering that world where deities coexist with degrees of equivalence, and the natural order of the soul there is full of vigilance. So with this, we welcome Sudha Didi. And I welcome Sister Claudia. Over to you for the official welcome. Thanks.
Om Shanti.
Om
Welcome, Sudha
Shanti.
Didi.
Om Shanti.
So nice to hear you talk about this value, innocence. because when we look at the child, why we like so much a little child, you know, because we can feel the innocence coming from the child. And then we can feel the innocence also coming through you because of your way of living. So many times when people say, "Oh, you are naive because you are innocent." So it is very good for you to speak about this. What is the difference between being naive and being innocent? So I think that both are hand to hand. So I'm really looking forward to hear you talk about this. So I'm in Brazil today. I'm giving one flower, Brazilian flower, to send to you. And
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
so
Thank you,
nice to have
Sister
you with
Claudia.
us today. Thank you for
Yeah.
being with us. So let's have the
Mhm.
Thank you.
pleasure to hear from you.
So thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Claudia. Yeah, and as always, a few housekeeping instructions. If you all can click the interpretation icon and select the language which you all want to listen to in, and we'll have Sudha Didi speaking for around next 50 to 55 minutes. And then you all can start pouring in your questions to me in the chat box related to innocence that I can ask her. So over to Sudha Didi. Thank you.
Thank you, Manoj Bhai. Thank you, this team of virtuous souls who are going from one virtue to another during all these years and reach the 104th one. It's great. Baba talks about 36 virtues, and you have exceeded Baba even, talking about 108 virtues. It is wonderful. It's really lovely, the rosary of 108 virtues. And if you keep on rotating that rosary, the soul will definitely become perfect. So thank you, Manoj Bhai, for your beautiful poem. Actually, in your poem, you said the essence of the theme, and everything is clear probably for everyone. And it was very lovely to listen to that poem. And also thanks to Sister Claudia for bringing this beautiful flower, for your smile, for your beautiful words. Now, I was also thinking about the same thing, that when people, in today's world, particularly at the end of Kali Yuga, at the end of Iron Age, people always think that it is to be innocent is not wise. You should be very clever, and I don't know what do they mean by saying that you should be very clever, and maybe some kind of cunningness, or some people may have different kind of interpretations for this word, being clever. In our childhood, when I recalled a story, a clever crow, and the crow was very thirsty, and there was water in a pitcher, very little at the bottom, and how the crow used some stones to throw in that pitcher, and the water came up. And so in that story, the word was used clever, the clever crow. Probably there the clever meant wisdom. And sometimes the word clever comes as cunningness, like a fox. And so different kind of expressions people use, like Sister Claudia said, naive. People may use the word naive or ignorant, or maybe sometimes they call it foolish, or even worse than that. There can be some words, and so on. So, but anyway, when we talk of this word innocence, in my understanding, innocence is this stage of innocence actually is the height of all the wisdom and all the virtues, all the purity attained. When you have attained everything, so you reach that highest stage, which will be called innocence. I feel it like that. I will talk about it. I don't know how much I will be able to speak because we have a retreat going on. And so I have to be there too. But anyway, I will try to do justice to this theme definitely in this given time. So the first thing which I wanted to ask all of you was, when you use the word innocence, what image comes in front of you? Sister Claudia said, child, a little child. And I think it is natural for everyone. An image of a child comes in front of every mind, on the screen of the mind, when the word innocence is used. And so why that, then what does that mean, innocence? That purity, like nothing artificial, that is visible in the eyes or on the face or in the expression of the child, and that we call innocence. But when I was actually thinking of this theme, in my mind came 3 images, and connected with these 3 images came in my mind, I recalled 3 songs. They are Hindi songs. I came to know from Manoj Bhai that there are a few among all of you who do not understand Hindi, but I would like to rather say maybe or suggest that it will be good to learn some Hindi, because there are some such expressions in Hindi which are very difficult to translate, as far my understanding says, in different languages, and very, very deep. And so, but anyway, because most of you understand Hindi, so I would like to definitely tell you about these 3 songs which tell about innocence of 3 beings. The first one which came in front of my eye of my mind was image of God. God is the most innocent being and the wisest being, the wisest of the wise and the most innocent. And this is why every human being at the time of need, at the time of some difficulty, when there is no support from anywhere, when everything is lost, then his eyes goes only towards one, and that is God. And there is full hope and confidence that I will get support, I will get help from that Supreme Being. Though during the entire life, the person might not have remembered him, might not have thought of him, but when from a true heart, when from a pure heart, the voice comes, oh God, help me, support me, guide me. And, from the true heart, I know so many such stories, when the people experienced direct help from God. Even the stories of atheists, when they had no other choice, nothing is visible, then the heart speaks out, oh God, oh God. And God is so innocent, but so powerful and so wise. the height of wisdom is God. The height of powers, the spiritual powers, is God. But at the same time, so innocent, when the child, the soul, cries out, "Oh God," God comes for the help of the child. And, reforms that what is spoiled, helps at the time of need, and so on. So therefore, there is a beautiful song about God. I will just like our brother to put that song, and you listen to just 2 lines of this song, and later on you can listen at home the whole song, and you will understand what is meant by God being innocent. Now,
प्रीलोडेड भजन, मंत्र और अन्य भक्ति गीतों वाला कीपैड फोन कारवा मोबाइल भक्ति। भोलेनाथ से निराला, गौरीनाथ से निराला कोई और नहीं। ओ भोलेनाथ से निराला, गौरीनाथ से निराला कोई और नहीं। कोई और नहीं, भोलेनाथ से निराला, गौरीनाथ से निराला कोई और नहीं। ओ भोलेनाथ से निराला, गौरीनाथ से निराला कोई और नहीं।
So those who do not understand Hindi, so at least try to definitely know the meaning of these 3 songs. And so first thing which comes in front of me about innocence is God. Second, the second image which comes in front of my mind about innocence, as Claudia said, is of course a child. Child have, why when we say the innocence of the child, that they are, children are very innocent in the sense that they do not, there is no manipulation, no exaggeration. As it is, very, very honest, very truthful in their heart. They do not have any hatred, any feelings of revenge. They do not keep anything bad in their heart. Their heart is clean. They are the same inside and outside. And so, therefore, children are loved by everyone. And for children, no matter to which nationality they belong, to which culture they belong, to which religion, which language they speak, and so on. But when they are little children, the only language they speak and understand is the language of love. And that language of love is that true innocence, which they understand very well, and they are able to express that language. And therefore there is a beautiful song about children, about the innocence of the children. So listen to this song now, 2 lines of this song, and later on the full song.
सारे जग की आँख के तारे, ये वो नन्हे फूल हैं जो भगवान को लगते प्यारे, बच्चे मन के सच्चे। खुद रूठे खुद मन जाए, फिर हम जोली बन जाए। झगड़ा जिसके साथ करे, अगले ही पल फिर बात करे। झगड़ा जिसके साथ करे, अगले ही पल फिर बात करे। इनको किसी से बैर नहीं, इनके लिए कोई गैर नहीं। इनका भोलापन मिलता है सबको बाह पसारे, बच्चे मन के सच्चे, सारे जग की आँख के तारे।
So this is about children. Okay. And the third image that comes in my mind is the image of a mother. Image of a mother. And the mother is very, very innocent, and mother is ready to do anything and everything for the sake of the child. So much of sacrifice, so much of attitude of giving, so much, it can't be compared. And this is why probably even when people, remember God, particularly in India, they say God first as mother and then father. And God, so the mother, the image of a mother comes when I use the word innocent. Now the song about the mother. So these songs were just some, examples. But to understand innocence, I think it will be good to go deeper into the qualities of God, child, and mother. And if the soul is able to inculcate these qualities in the self, then the soul becomes the image of innocence. This quality automatically comes. And this is why, I remember, I don't know how many of you know Brother Jagdish, and he always used to say this thing that when you are a teacher, yes, is a teacher and has to play the role of a teacher, but very often the teacher has to become like a mother. So very wise on one hand, on the other hand, very innocent, always ready to help, to guide, to protect, to give, to make the children, like students, like children, move forward. And so this quality of a mother brings that kind of innocence where there is no fear, where you don't lose anything by making others move forward. You automatically become worthy of a lot of respect and a lot of importance. But there is no thought about it when you have that quality of a mother. The mother does not want anything for the self. The mother does everything for the children. And this is why the mother is valued in the whole world till today. For children, the whole world is mother. And therefore, this, I think that we need to go in the depth of the qualities of these three: God, child, and the mother. Now, another thing, further I come to the second point, is There is one expression when God says, just be a child. That is, do not allow the child within. Every soul, eternal, is the eternal child of God. But when the soul forgets the self, when the soul begins to identify the self with body, and then after that begins to identify with the status, with the position, with the religion, with the nationality, and all other things that are connected to the body, then arrogance and ego and pride and many other negative things begin to emerge in the soul, and that the beautiful child which was within that soul begins to somewhere die. So God says, do not allow this beautiful pure child within you, the soul, to die. Remain a child. Bacha. In Hindi, the child is called Bacha. So God says, if you remain a child, Bacha, you will be always protected, Bacha, from all that what is negative. Always, you will be under protection. So when we say innocence, so if I maintain that innocence of a child, if I do not try to show myself to be too clever, to be the one who knows a lot, who has read a lot, I would like to tell you one story of a saint from India. His name was Dayanand. He was like around 500 years ago, and from very childhood, he had the interest in reading, in studying. So he read all the Vedas. Probably Vedas are the spiritual books, very, very big books. There are 4 Vedas, and he read all the Vedas and all the scriptures. There are 6 big scriptures, and so he read these books. But one day, in his quite young age, he heard from someone that until you have a guru, you can't attain salvation, no matter how much you have read. So because he was, such a learned person, he had read so much, he began to think, whom should I choose as my guru? It cannot be an ordinary one. And so he tried to inquire about it, and somebody suggested that there is a person who can be suitable for you as your guru. So he went there. And the door of this home was closed. He knocked the door. Dayanand knocked the door. And from inside, a voice came, "Who is there?" And the answer Dayanand gave was, "This is why I have come here." The question was, "Who is there?" And the answer was, "This is why I have come here. That is to know who am I." So when this answer was given, the man inside understood that this person who is standing outside must have read a lot. And then he asked him second question, still not opening the door, and said, "Okay, tell me, what have you read up till now?" The answer was, "I have read all the Vedas and scriptures." The door still did not open. The man inside said to the man outside, "Okay, go and throw all your books in the river which is flowing nearby, and then come back to me. I will tell you who you are." So you understand? So if there is a ego of I have read so much, I know so much, the innocence is lost. And this is why when you remain a child, when you always have an attitude of learning, the attitude of knowing, when you do not even think about how many degrees you have, how many awards you have received, what status you have, when you remain just a little child, always ready to learn, having the curiosity to know, to learn, to grow, that is called innocence, no matter how much you know. And this is why it is probably said in the world also that the wise people know deeply, that they yet have to know a lot. And only a foolish one thinks that I know everything. So when we talk of innocence, innocence is not being naive. Innocence is not being ignorant. There is a lot is there, but this lot is not just in the form of information. This lot is in the form of experience. But there is no ego. There is no ego of that experience or that knowledge or that wisdom. That is called innocence. This is why I said in the beginning, the innocence is the height of wisdom. Height of wisdom. So God is the wisest of the wise, but it is said He is the Lord of innocence, or the innocent Lord, who becomes happy at a minute thing. You just with a true heart tell about your, who you are, and God is present for you. The only thing God needs is a true heart. That's all. Nothing more than that. And so that really becoming innocent is having a true heart. No question of trying to befool others or manipulating others or trying to make a show of yourself that I know so much. To do something for the name, for fame, for glory. No. God does not need any name, fame, glory. When the child gives happiness to anyone, he does not need any name, fame, glory, nothing. The same is with the mother. The same is with the mother. And so innocence is not being naive. You know everything. You understand everything. You have experience of that. But at the same time, you have no ego. So this is one thing which I wanted to say. Another is when we talk of innocence, it means, for me, it includes being innocent. It includes the expression of forgive and forget. And for that, neither God nor child nor mother, none of the three have to make efforts to become the embodiment of forgiving and forgetting. None of them. It is in their nature. That is their nature. To easily forgive, to easily forget. They do not keep anything, any kind of grudges in their hearts. None of them. Easy to, clean, pure. Their heart is absolutely clean. So it includes this attitude of forgiveness and forget. Okay, somebody did something wrong with you. If you are not if you don't have this quality of innocence, you will not forget it probably till the end of your life. It will remain there. And this way, the heart and the intellect can't remain clean. If anything negative of anyone, for that matter, even my own mistake, if I keep thinking of that all the time, on one hand it is, so to say, I realize my mistake, I know that I have done this mistake. On one hand it is honesty, but if I keep thinking of this mistake, probably I will make more mistakes. And this is why God says, forgive yourself too for your mistakes and move forward. Make a promise with yourself not to repeat the mistake. And if you learn to forgive the self, it will be easy to forgive others. And if you see a child, for example, if a child has done something, because it's a child, the child will not remember that I did something wrong. Forgets. Somebody else did something, child does not remember. So, and this is why they are pure, they're innocent, clean, and they are loved by all. So therefore, to be innocent means to imbibe this quality, to forgive and to forget. So think about anyone. I remember one incident when we had a program in Moscow in relation with health actually, and one of the theme was forgiveness. And so when the speaker asked that, is there anyone in the gathering, there were more than 150 people probably, is there anyone in the gathering who had some past memories of someone's not good behavior, bad behavior, and you are keeping those memories, and these memories give you pain. These memories make you suffer. And therefore, if there is anyone, so today you need to free yourself from these memories, from all these kinds of pains and sufferings by forgiving that person who did something wrong. Can you imagine? I remember that there was a person, a young man, who stood up and said, there was a moment 30 years before than that moment when something happened with him and his mother. At that time, he must be a young child. And so during 30 years, he didn't talk to his mother. During 30 years, he didn't meet his mother. Can you imagine what kind of a state of mind of the mother and this young person must be? And so when he was asked that you should now stop keeping that negative memory in your mind, you should definitely go and meet your mother today, and so on. So just imagine that scene when this man must have met his mother after 30 years. From a young boy to a young man, now he meets his mother. So it's such a beautiful quality of forgiveness, but when we talk of innocence, it includes that quality. You don't keep anything negative in your heart, even for a second. Came, finished, gone. And on the basis of spiritual wisdom, if we say, we understand that every coming second is a new second. Let the past, the old, not prolong. Let the every coming second be a new second. Make it new by your new thinking, by bringing some newness in your life, by having new feelings, and give this newness to others. So this naturally includes this quality of forgiveness and forgetting. And then when we talk of further innocence, then this, innocence means when the thoughts, words, and actions are the same. You speak that what you think, you do that what you speak. There is no difference. It's not thinking one, speaking something else, and doing something else. The innocent means when thoughts, words, and actions are similar. Because there is no question of, trying to befool others. So people will listen to my words and they will think that I am a very good person, but inside I have some bad motives. No. Actually, in the right understanding, this is befooling the self. Because the law of karma works anyway. So the one who is innocent, no question of, any kind of difference between thoughts, words, and actions. They are similar. And this is why there is no complication. This is why innocence also means simplicity. When you have an attitude of manipulation, so you think, you have so many waste thoughts, because you think how to say, how to speak, how to do it, so that people will not know what is inside me. But when your thoughts, words, and actions are same, this is simplicity. No complication in life, no complication. What is, that is. That's all. Your life becomes simple, and simple is genius. Number one, it is so simple, but one is genius. God is one. One symbolizes unity. One symbolizes oneness. So therefore, this oneness in my thoughts, words, and actions, this can also be called transparency. The person is transparent. So that will be innocence. Another is innocent. Innocent also means when you have the attitude of giving. Attitude of giving. No selfish motives. You naturally give. You do not have any expectation from others. When others give, then you will do something for them. No. The innocent ones only give. God is a constant giver. Mother is a constant giver. And the child very naturally gives. The presence of the children bring happiness in the atmosphere. Natural, very natural. This is why children are, as even God says, children are compared to Mahatmas, the great souls. They do not have theoretical knowledge, but it is said that God speaks from the mouth of children. They will speak such words which come out to be true. They do not have logic. They can't explain why they said these words. They just said, and they come out to be true. Because this is why they say, because they are so innocent that God speaks from their mouth. And this is why I remember when we were little children, when our parents had to make some kind of a decision, and they will put some papers, probably with some kind of a answers or solutions, and ask the youngest child in the family to pick up a paper. And that will be done. The child just picks up, does not know what is there in the paper. And if that way it is done, there is success. So transparency, no kind of the attitude of giving. Another is the when we talk of innocence, innocence also means living in present. Nowadays, people very much use this expression, being now and here. Actually, I don't know how many people are there in the billions of people who are actually able to live now and here. It's not so easy. There are thoughts of the past, there are worries of the future, there are plans for the future, and so many things, so many thoughts. But when we call innocence, innocence means living in this moment. Living in this moment and making that moment worthy. Not to bother about the future. Future will automatically be good. Past has gone, I am living in the present. God lives in the present. The child lives in the present. Our mothers probably may not be living in the present in this, particularly in this iron-aged world, but otherwise, I think they are more concerned about the present state of the child. So therefore, living in the present. And another last thing about the qualities of innocence, what I wanted to say was that no waste thoughts at all. No waste thoughts. No wasteful feelings. Nothing. Nothing is wasted when you are innocent. So this is about that innocence. And now what I would like to say, one more thing is that in the spiritual knowledge, we have the aim of becoming the embodiment of all these values, virtues about which you are talking in this project, Values in Life. And we need to become the embodiment of these virtues. And when the soul becomes the embodiment of these virtues, then the soul reaches a stage which is called the stage of divinity. Anyway, we are children of God. The children of God should be godly, like a child of a human being is a human being. The child of God should be godly, or we can say God with small g, God or goddess, or a deity. So here I would like to say a few words about that stage of a deity which a human soul attains by becoming the embodiment of spiritual wisdom and values and virtues. So when the soul attains this stage, that stage is called the stage of a deity. Human beings in Golden Age are called deities. They are human beings, but they are with the embodiment of those virtues. They don't talk about virtues. They don't have these seminars on virtues. They don't have these talks on virtues, but they are the embodiments of virtues. They are the embodiments of wisdom. They don't need to think about it. They don't need to, make a plan about it. They are naturally virtuous. They are naturally disciplined, and they are naturally happy. And therefore, there is no need for them to be asked, so please smile, I want to have a photograph of you. And so today, because the virtues are not in the life, and when people want to have a photograph, they are asked to make cheese or smile and so on, because that natural thing is not there. And so when this innocence of deities means that when there is no knowledge theoretical knowledge. No theoretical knowledge of virtues. No. No. If you ask any deity, what is humility? What the deity will say. If you ask any deity, what is sweetness? What the deity will say. What is purity? No, they don't have knowledge. No theoretical knowledge, but they are the embodiment of everything, and therefore there is no cunning or artificial smile. There is natural smile on their face. Natural smile on their face. They are self-sovereigns. They are self-sovereigns, sovereigns of their body, sovereigns of their minds, sovereigns of their intellect, and that too very naturally without having knowledge about it. So that is why I said in the very beginning, so innocence is the height of wisdom. And so I think it is not just by chance this quality of innocence is being talked about when you are coming to a close of these sessions of values in life. You have 108, I know, 4 more are left, and so 104th, it is quite close to the end, and so on. And the last thing which I would like to say is, as Baba says, that just allow that child to remain alive within you, that purity, that innocence to remain alive within you, and you will be always protected. So I would like to finish my talk with a real story which is connected to myself. It was in India, and I began to live in the center. I dedicated my life for this service, and I had finished my studies, and I was just few years probably living in the center, maybe 4 years, I think. So my age must have been around 27, 26, 20, something like this. And so what happened, some kind of renovation work was going on in that building in which we had our center. And so for me, this construction task, I didn't have any knowledge of construction. I didn't have any knowledge of the laws of construction. I didn't have any of this knowledge, because I was not connected with it. So it was already a 3-floor building, ground floor plus 3 floors. And but there was a need of making a little extension on the roof of this building because of some real necessity. So, what happened, the inspector connected the construction department came, and he rang the bell. At that time, I was alone in the building. All the seniors had gone for a meeting, and I was there. It was almost 12 o'clock in the noon, 12 noon, So I opened the door, and so this man standing outside, he asked me, where is so-and-so, your senior? So I said, but they are not here. What do you want to say? So he said, I have to give a notice. And for me at that time, at this word notice, what is this notice about? I didn't understand anything. So I have to give a notice, and so where are they? But they are not here. I am alone, so you can give me. I will pass it on to them. So he said, no. I want to have a signature of them, and only I can give them this notice. So I said, but you can't I have the signature on it? I will have the signature, I will do the signature, and you take it, I will pass it on to them. But he didn't give me. So I said, you see, it is very strange, at least I can do this much, why are you not giving me? So he looked at me, and ultimately left without giving me this notice. Next day, he met, because he knew our senior brother, Brother Jagdish. There was another brother, senior brother living there. So he knew them. So he met them on the way, on the road. He said, yesterday I came there at your place. I met one young sister there. I came with the notice that this this construction task, additional construction task on the roof, it has to be stopped immediately because it is not as per the law. It should not be done. And so it was a small construction actually, but it should not be done. However, I didn't give her the notice, though she asked me a number of times, because when I looked at her, I found her to be so pure and so innocent that I didn't want to really make any harm to your organization. Anything, I didn't want to do it. And so therefore I didn't give it to her. And I assure you, I will not come again to your organization. And so you finish this task quickly, and so that it will not prolong for a long time. And so everything will be done. So, I didn't know, Brother Jagdish did not tell me this story for few years. The task was done, and a moment came when this inspector came just to meet, just to see. And again, it was I there who opened the door, and he came inside. And at that time, there was Jagdish Bhai and everybody was there, and we met him. At that time, this story was told to me. So then I understood Baba's expression, when you allow that pure child to remain within you alive, you are always protected. So not only I was protected, but Baba's task was protected because of this purity of the thoughts and the innocence of the mind. I don't know whether it is called ignorance or naive, like being naive or so on. At that time, I really was naive. I didn't know these laws, anything. But at the same time, there was this innocence, and probably that created an impact on the soul, and Baba's task was done without any obstacles. So therefore, Baba wants us to be Bap Saman, like him, as he is the innocent Lord. So let we also become the same as our Father. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, Sudha Didi. And as you were just speaking about so many advantages of being innocent, I thought one more we could add in the innocence is that there's a proverb called ignorance is bliss. So I think that
Yes,
perfect.
yes.
Really.
Yeah, very true.
Ignorance of all the desires of deities, and then you
Yeah,
can be like innocent and like Baba will take. I'm also saying Baba, God will take care of everything, and then
yeah,
but most important is like we should not be ignorant of our weaknesses and also
yes.
about shortcomings. Yeah. So do you want to elaborate a little bit on that, because people become ignorant of their weaknesses and then they don't work on
No,
them.
no, when this is why we say that when you reach that height of wisdom, uh, particularly now, then for you, everything is very clear. This is black, this is white. You can't close your eyes, you can't close your eyes. But the most important thing is, because you are wise enough, so you see if there is a spot on me. You do not try to find the spots in others, the black spots in others, because you are focused on your own transformation. We are talking about these values in life, values in my own life. Only then I can become a source of inspiration for others. And therefore, if I am a real innocent soul, in the true sense, my attention will not go towards the weaknesses of others. I will be concerned about transforming my own weaknesses, but at the same time, I will not just keep on I will not keep on thinking about them. I have this weakness, I have this weakness, because my experience says that if I focus my attention on weaknesses, probably the weaknesses become more powerful. If I focus my attention on my good qualities and make them grow, then weaknesses begin to leave me. I need to increase my power. I need to increase my light. Weaknesses are the result of darkness. When I increase my light, I become more enlightened, then weaknesses begin to leave me. I can't close my eyes to weaknesses. There is a saying that a pigeon, when the pigeon sees a cat coming, the pigeon closes the eyes and thinks there is no cat, there is no cat, there is no cat. But the cat is there, and cat comes and, catches the pigeon. So I can't close my eyes, but at the same time, I do not think a lot about the weaknesses. This is what I think.
Yes, that's a wonderful explanation. So beautiful that you've summarized that so many advantages of innocence, that it is really trying to have a balance inside. If you could speak a little bit of trying to, because when you say childlike innocence, not childish innocence, many people feel that, oh, you all can't make mature decisions if you're innocent all the time. But you're speaking here as a value, which is a spiritual value, innocence. So if someone is more spiritually innocent, on the contrary, his decision making would be perfect, and he would be more mature than others. So do you want to speak about balancing between being mature and being innocent?
When my feeling, Manoj Bhai, is that when the soul makes effort to become soul conscious and remains connected with God, the wisest of the wise, there will be this natural balance, very mature but very innocent. So therefore, the practice which we need is to remind the self again and again to be connected with my own true self, which I am when I start my journey from my home of the souls and come in this world, that my perfect stage. When I connect with that perfect stage of the self, and when I connect with God, I think there is a natural balance of maturity and innocence. Then every decision which will be made will be very, very naturally accurate. Like deities, I don't know, I can't use the word that the deities are mature. At the same time, I can't use the word that deities are ignorant or naive. There is a beautiful balance of that maturity and innocence, but natural balance, without having that theoretical, any kind of, knowledge of these words even. And therefore, my understanding says that there will be the maturity, there will be innocence at the same time when, I don't know how to say it, but it is very natural. It is very, very natural. Like God helps those. I remember one of the expression of God when God said that it will be nice if you have a wise intellect and a true heart. It will be very nice. However, if you have either of the two, then better to have a honest heart, a true heart. I will help you. Even if you do not have enough knowledge, enough information, maybe enough wisdom, you can say, but because of the true heart, because God loves those who have truthfulness, honesty in their hearts, they get guidance and there is a natural mature decision. You can see the examples of many, in my own life. I know this. I know in our organizations, when our seniors, they didn't have the knowledge of everything, but because the souls were connected to God, big decisions were made, and they were wonderful decisions. And this is why these courses on self-management leadership began. The huge owners of the huge companies came for these courses. They did not understand how does it happen when these dadis, the seniors, they don't have that kind of theoretical knowledge. So I think that truthfulness of the heart brings natural balance of maturity and innocence.
Yes, wonderful. You spotted on that thing, and we can say that if someone's spiritual quotient (SQ) is very high, they don't really
Yeah.
need of IQ because they are naturally. So though they sound very innocent, all the dadis, the seniors of the institution in the yagya, they sounded very innocent and very naive, but they could make big decisions, and which we are witness to today. So thank you so much. And I know you are wanting to go, but can I ask a few questions? I've already started asking. So
Okay.
just take one or two more. Someone is asking that in the regular classes, we call it Murlis for people who don't know. The spiritual classes in the morning at Brahma Kumaris, we call it Murlis. So there we have this expression of shrewd buddhi, which means an intellect which should be very sharp and nice, divine as well. But there's an expression for deities. They say that the divine speaks this, that they are royal buddhus, which means I don't know what is the exact translation in English, Murlis. Royally, they are either innocent or ignorant. So you've already
In,
covered about deities, but you can just throw light on this as well. Royal Buddha.
yes. Buddhu in the sense because they don't have knowledge. So therefore Buddhu. But they have royalty as a result of becoming the embodiment of that knowledge which they listened in their previous birth. And this is why, so they have that natural royalty, but because they don't have knowledge, so Baba calls them Buddhu. Baba, Shiv Baba God has different kind of expressions for making children feel much better. So you are even higher than the deity, sometimes God will say. So Baba wants to make us feel good. But we know that we are still on the path, on the journey to reach that stage of perfection. But by calling deities royal Buddhus, Baba makes us feel good that we are better. We are better. But actually the deities are not at all Buddhus, not at all. Their every movement is very, very perfect and very accurate. Very perfect and every moment. Today we had a session with some people who have finished the course. So one of the things which came up was that, when we talk the define perfection, in many ways it can be defined, but one of the definition of perfection will be accuracy in everything. Your attitude of respect towards every other being and the elements of nature, that the attitude of gratitude, very naturally. And, when we talk of deities, they are so accurate, and it is natural. No tension, no attention even, but natural nature of accuracy. But this comes as a result of that wisdom which the soul receives and inculcates in the life at this time.
Sorry. So there's one practical question that a person is saying, I've recently joined Brahma Kumaris and I want to be very spiritually motivated. I want to be spiritually innocent, but I don't want to be foolish because in today's world outside, in the Kali Yuga, in the Iron Age, people will take you for a ride. They take you for granted. So I know. So you want to explain that to this brother that he wants to develop
No,
innocence, but
no. So no, you will not become foolish by becoming a student of Brahma Kumaris. You will become wiser and wiser day by day. People can't make, they can't deceive you. Because if at all any such moment comes in the life when you were deceived of something, but you will quickly learn a lesson from that incident, and you will move further. And therefore, don't worry about it. Continue. Two things are needed. One is knowledge, going in the depth of knowledge, understanding the knowledge very, very accurately. And second is connection with God, the wisest of the wise. Then there is no question of becoming a fool. You see? So when you are connected with the highest being, you can't do such a act, you can't make such a decision when people will call you a fool, or you will think that you are a fool. No question.
you can become a fool in God's heart. Fool means flower.
That is fool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I think we are running short of time because you also have to leave for the retreat you said in Moscow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'll just invite Sister Claudia for the closing comments and the vote of thanks. Over to you. Yeah.
He said I took some points here. Then I like to see like the innocent, how God is innocent. Yes, I like that song, Bolonat. It's very nice one. And then show that, like you said, is the highness of so wise. He's so wise, but he's so innocent because he's so okay, come, I will help you no matter what you have done or anything. So also about the child, the innocence of the child, they don't think about what have done or anything like that. They just keep moving in life. And then also the mother is always ready to help the kids no matter what they do. So it's quite nice to just see all those points together. And then
Mm-hmm.
one thing that I really like it because the child has no ego. So when we have no ego, we have God protect us. That is a
Mm-hmm.
quite of a point. Yeah, I
Yeah.
quite like that point. Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
then because when we have ego, we lose the innocence
Mm-hmm.
because we start making things, no? So I really like, and also when you say be simple, no waste thoughts, be very transparent. So thank you so much, sisters. So much, so much. We really enjoy. I'm sure that we all are going to listen again and study more and learn more. Yeah.
Yes, thank
And
you.
nice to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. In India, it is now we're going to be 10 o'clock. And so, therefore, let's now finish by remembering Baba. Yes? Or
Yeah. So
any other?
we'll just
Yeah.
take a Sister Anu, you can do quickly the announcements and then
Just 1 minute and a song. So let's remember our innocence, as this is taking technology, taking few seconds. I'll just quickly take you through the slides.
want to it's hung up again. You want to
Yeah.
or should I share it?
Yeah, share it, brother.
You can take the picture too.
Can go ahead. Can you see the screen?
Yes, it is.
Sister Anu, yeah, yeah.
I think I lost the collection.
I think okay. So I'll just quickly announce. Yeah. So all of you, the ones who want to join the silence retreat, we are having it in 12 hours from now. And it's the silence retreat on innocence. We'll be going in the depth of what we get the spiritual wisdom here through our divine what we call God, Baba, we call lovingly Baba. We get a lot of murlis and a lot of spiritual wisdom on particular values. So we churn on those, and it's a beautiful way to dive into silence and realize the inner potential of that value and what we are lacking in. And as always, then the next week we'll be having the workshop on innocence. We'll be diving into the depth and do some experiential exercises for the first hour. And then we'll be having another senior Rajogi with us, Sister Moira, all the way from Argentina. She'll be there with us for the next second hour for the talk. That is on Saturday, 14 December. And the next value is, as Sister Sudha was saying, that we are going into the depth, and the last 3-4 values are really very unique. So we'll be having it on episode 105 on genuinity or authenticity. Very closely related to honesty and truthfulness as well, but in a very different flavor. And in Hindi, we call it Pramanikta. That will be on Saturday, 21st December. And we have with us Sister Aruna, who is one of the coordinators at Global Retreat Center in UK. So with this, I'll just stop sharing the screen. These are our YouTube channels and the links for the episodes and the workshops, and these are our websites. So I'll just stop sharing the screen and we'll go into the meditation mode with Sister Sudha. Thank you.
Maybe can Garima take a picture of all of us?
Yes, why not, please?
Yes, I'm here too. So sorry about that technology. So I can take the picture quickly. So everyone open the views. Your innocent smiles. I want to remind you. And yes, I can play a song.
Yeah, please.
Come, take a ride with me to paradise. Heaven's in your heart beating inside. You're alive, the great divine, older than time. Yes, you are loved, and the stars in our sky, billion-year-old lights light up the sky, and you can feel the universe through your heart, the divine design of you. The time has come for you to honor the miracle of you. And you are so beautiful, the way your body moves and holds it all. Your heart lights up hearts, and your love illuminates our world. Your soul is old. Your soul is old, and the stars in our sky, billion-year-old lights light up the sky, and you can feel the universe through your heart, time has come for you to honor the miracle of you. Oh, the road's been long and the heart is strong. Let your love lift you up, let your heart rocket you to honor the miracle of you.
Thank you so much once again, Sudha Didi, for sharing.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Thank you. Goodbye. Good night. Thank you.